We're on, ready. We're back for another week.
Week 3.
Week 3, pod 3. It's gone quick, hasn't it?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, exactly. What have you been up to this week? Not much. Been slapping anyone?
I've been slapped.
Oh, you've been slapped?
I've been slapped. New content coming soon. But big quiet week. How's yours been?
Yeah, not too bad. I slapped you. Oh no, Jeremy slapped you yesterday, but in more recent news, Will Smith has been slapping some people.
Can't keep his hands to himself.
How funny is it? Oh, let's talk about it.
Let's bring it up. Come on.
What is he doing, first of all? Like, obviously, I think the Oscars has died down over the years. I don't think anyone really watches it and cares about it now.
I've never actually ever cared about Oscars, nah.
And there's obviously the Australian version. There was the Golden Globes. Nah, what's the Australian?
Emmys?
Emmys?
Logies.
Logies?
Yeah,
Logies.
Logies.
So we got the Logies, and so I don't really care about those either.
Yeah.
And an Australians mentions they're gonna get nominated for an award. But other than that, nah, who cares?
Did you hear the joke that was what set it off though?
Yeah. So it was a GI. Is it? No, I can't remember.
He called her GI Jane.
Jane, yeah. I was gonna say Jane, yeah. And then that's a reference to her having bald hair.
Yeah.
Or no hair. But
Thing is, what I don't understand though is Will Smith laughed. Everyone laughed at the joke. Will Smith laughed until he looked over at Jada, who didn't laugh, and then he gets up.
And then gets up, and then kind of rolls up like that, and then slaps him, which kind of looks like when you go to drama and you do
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he's done a bit of that, and it's just grazed him. There's no mark on.
I don't know. I reckon it's real though. So you were saying before,
I
you
reckon
reckon
it's
fake.
staged, yeah.
But if you look, I watched the video. I was working when I saw a video, but he slaps him, and after he gets slapped, Chris Rock holds himself back from he kind of jolts with his right arm a little bit with a clenched fist, and then he holds himself, and he's like, nah. And then he waits for Will Smith to walk off. He's like, oh, I got slapped by Will Smith.
Yeah, but Kevin, surely if you're getting a grown man slapping you, surely you're gonna retaliate,
Yeah, but it's also the Oscars, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
he's an actor, so who really knows? But well done.
Well, see,
everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, but the after part as well. So I thought maybe if it was just the slap, I could maybe think it was staged. But when Will Smith's yelling and saying keep my name, my wife's name out of your mouth, that was, he looked mad there. I don't think that part was staged, if anything.
Nah, the way keep your. I thought I was watching a movie. I was like, oh damn, he's going in. But yeah, very entertaining if you were there, and you see everyone shocked.
Yeah, that's why another reason why I reckon it was.
And then I saw a photo of BT being shocked as well. BT was, you know how BT does. He's normally roaming Brian, and then there's a fucking photo of him going something like that. But anyway, roll the intro. Welcome back to another episode of 2 Ps on a Pod. 2 Ps on a Pod? 2 Ds on a Pod. Shit, getting our own wrong. 2 Ps in a pod with 2 Ds on a pod. 2 Ds on a pod. Welcome back, episode 3. We're loving life at the moment.
It's a good time.
We're having great interaction with you guys on the socials, so keep it up. We should have TikToks coming your way pretty soon. We also filmed another interesting video yesterday that should be going up on our YouTube, so make sure to check that out. That should be coming out in the next week. When we review some shapes, but we'll go into some depth
about that. It was a really good shapes review. I was thinking about it, we label it a shapes review, but
it's not really.
It's just us,
fucking around, really. Yeah, we're having a good time though. Some of us got hurt, some of us cried, some of us yacked. We'll talk about that later in this episode.
Next week's episode, hopefully the video drops later this week, so...
Yeah.
Next week's episode or whenever that video drops, we'll go into that a bit more detail.
But footy, obviously round 2 this week. We'll go and talk about that, and also F1s that was on last night. So heaps happening. We'll go start with footy. Did you watch any games this week? Go to any games? Nah.
No games this week. Watch the Buddy 1000.
That was pretty cool. Let's talk about that.
Let's start with that one.
We can start about Thursday. Thursday, Blues are obviously back. They're looking pretty good.
I'm getting in early though. I called it. I did say the Blues are back.
Yeah.
Blues are making 8.
And I don't think Doggies are making top 4 anymore. I had them first, so I'm on edge about that. So maybe they're not making top 4. Maybe I think I should make top 8. They've got a quality lineup.
I think they're gonna get their shit sorted shortly and be able to get some W's back on the board.
But
how good was watching Lance Franklin scored his 1,000th goal. Everyone
That
running on
was
the pitch.
insane.
Scenes.
Gil started off saying, "Oh yeah, no one run on." I was like, oh. It just looks so much better having everyone like just getting. I wouldn't expect everyone to be running on before he'd even kick the ball.
Imagine if he missed. There was a group of people that were halfway to him before the ball even went through.
And I think I've seen a video. Oh yeah. So obviously I love watching the bounce after.
We love it.
Yeah, I love the bounce by Chief, and they showed Chief's goal of him kicking his 1,000th goal. It's hard to say 1,000. You need a lot of moisture on your lips, but when he kicked his, some people started to run on, and then everyone looked around like, oh, no one's running on.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I'm not seeing
so
that.
they kind of ran on and like, oh fuck, just do a U-turn, U-turn. No, I don't think anyone ran on. So I found that pretty funny, but yeah, it was a nice spectacle to see.
Rough being Buddy Franklin though, because I feel like at the start he started to enjoy it, but as more and more people got there, I feel like you could see his kind of mood change a little bit when he realised he couldn't get out as easily as potentially he'd hoped.
Yeah,
but
don't want to be claustrophobic, do you?
I would have hated that.
Yeah, because you were saying that you didn't want people touching your head. Like,
yeah, well, like, you're looking at everyone. I don't want a bunch of randoms just touching my head. Like, let's not get into that.
I think I would be so like hyped that I wouldn't even care.
Yeah. And then, he wouldn't care in the moment.
And then it got to the boys trying to lift him up higher.
True.
Put him on his shoulders, which they struggled to do at the same time. And I'm like, well, they struggle, but at the same time, everyone's like just pushing, constantly.
And Buddy's a big
pushing.
bloke.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Did you see the photo of the two Swans players? I don't know what their names are.
Chad Warner.
Yeah.
I want to say, Chad Warner, I think kicked it to him, but yeah, now outside of the ground.
They took the wrong exit into the change rooms and ended up outside the ground.
Yeah, and I don't know if they took the wrong exit, but yeah, that was the only way to get away from the people because like they couldn't work their way around to the change room. So I think the best way was just to get out. But that was pretty cool to see. But what did the other interesting thing that happened or spoken about today was the man who ended up with the ball that Buddy kicked the goal with. So what ended up happening to him? What awards did he get? Or what was that story about? Do you remember?
So, from my understanding, obviously Buddy kicked his 1,000th goal. Everyone's running on. He marked the footy that Buddy kicked. It's a pretty good mark. I don't know if you've seen the video. So he's taking the footy home. And obviously Buddy wants his ball back. So I'm pretty sure this one's given him, 2 5-year season tickets, like memberships.
Yeah.
He's getting signed a pair of custom footy boots from Buddy Franklin, a signed jersey, and I'm pretty sure like a footy and a letter signed from John Longmire.
Yeah.
So to be fair, look at Tom Brady when Tom Brady needed to get one of his last balls back. He paid him a Bitcoin. I feel like he probably could have got more. They're saying the ball's worth $200K.
I would say that's worth. I would much more. I'd want money for that. I wouldn't.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess if it's your team, but even then,
give me a life membership or something like that.
Yeah,
like
give me 10K. I'd say 10K.
Big,
I'd say 10K.
They reckon the ball's worth $200K though, and obviously, I mean, like I was
right now though.
I was in the thing where like unless like Buddy had signed it or like. Something, it's just a regular footy, really. Like, how are you going to be able to be like, oh, this is Buddy's 1,000? Like, who's going to believe you other than kind of you? And
then I saw that, like, he's giving back a ball that he didn't even own, and he's getting all this shit, and it's just like, oh yeah, how good's that? Like,
well, because in America, like, you get given, the ball goes into the stands in any sport, I think, other than the NBA, it's you get to keep it. So, in Australia, though, like, I don't know if you guys haven't been to the footy, you don't get to keep the footy.
Footies are always
So
just throw it back.
I thought it was a bit wrong, like to be asking for shit to get the ball back, but I can understand it a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I'd definitely want like. No, I'm happy with 10 grand. 10 grand right now, but obviously as time goes on, that ball is probably gonna be worth like 200K.
Yeah.
But good luck, good job locking that guy. Whatever your name is, shout out to him. What else happened this week?
Hawthorn looking legit.
Hawthorn first on the ladder, and it's been a while, I tell you what. But I did say I was going to put them 12th, and then I was like, nah, I'm back in getting wooden spoons now. I'd like to not put that video out again, and I'll take back that thing, because I reckon they're a chance. I don't think they'll make top 8.
Oh no, I don't reckon they'll have to drop off eventually.
But they've got some good-looking players like Mitch Lewis at full forward. Like, he's gonna clunk a few goals this year. And also, I don't know what happened to Port. I did say, I remember. Oh, I don't know if I ever said it.
Do you reckon Hawthorn being good is more surprising or Port being bad?
Port being bad.
Because
I don't know if it's just a poor game from them. Obviously, teams are going to drop off, but this early in the season against a Hawthorn that's very young, and then someone's already made the comment that Hawthorn's greatest coach of all time has been replaced by Hawthorn's new greatest of all time coach. So
that's a big call to make on Sam Mitchell. But
Sam Mitchell, apparently Sam Mitchell is like really good.
He seems pretty clued on.
Yeah, so I did say at the start, or when we were doing our ladder predictions, I didn't know whether, I don't know if I ever said it and recorded it, but I was thinking either Brisbane or Port are going to come down, and I went with Brisbane, and Brisbane seems to be doing alright, but I should have gone with Port at this stage, because but
do you reckon they'll be able to get something turned around? They did finish, top 2 past 2 years, so
definitely, I reckon they'll be able to turn it around, but they needed to turn around pretty fast because that ship's going to sail. And I don't know, Ken Hinkley's a bit under pressure at the moment.
It's a bit weird because Ken Hinkley was under pressure and then randomly one year he put him in second and almost took him to the grand final. And then last year, the same thing.
Yeah.
And then this year, now they're just bad again.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, we've also got West Coast played on the weekend, or was it the Waffle?
I think it was Waffle All Stars.
Yeah, Waffle All Stars. They did a good job though.
Aaron Black,
Shout
one
out
goal,
Aaron
one
Black.
game.
Yeah,
he had a decent game, 15 touches.
Yeah, 15. I thought it was going to be a bit more. Not gonna lie, normally racks him up in the Waffle, but obviously high intensity. Like, he did a pretty good job, and I can imagine most of the game. I guess there was more champ calling than actual name calling, because I doubt like all the boys would know each other. Like, yeah mate, on the left.
Trying to watch that game, I had hardly any idea of who was actually playing.
Nah, and half of the boys were just like, I think Aaron Black is number 26, and I'm not sure who actual number 26 for West Coast is, but it's not him. Like, most of the boys, when they got given their jumper, got given another boy's jumper for the year. It wasn't like a new number.
Did they? I didn't know that.
Nah, so a bit confusing for the West Coast
supporters. Who's number 26 for the Eagles?
I think it's Isaiah Winder. Is that a bloke?
That name does sound familiar.
Yeah, I'm not a keen West Coast supporter, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him. For West Coast Eagles, he's number 26. But anyway, yeah, they did a good job to hang in there. You got a mic?
It is Zane True.
Just going to shout out our producer Clay. He's joined us today. Jeremy wasn't good enough, so we've got the real deal in. We've gone and paid Clay the big bucks as well. So what was that, Clay? Sorry.
His name's Zane True.
There
seems to be a rookie. He hasn't played a game yet, so it's a bit rough.
Oh yeah, Isaiah Winder is 22.
Imagine that. Imagine getting presumably drafted by a team, given a jersey number, and then they have a game cut up on the weekend. Oh, we're 14 players down. Let's look over you and go to a waffle and then give them your jersey.
He might have COVID. You never know. He might.
Was he one of the ones with COVID?
He might be. I doubt. Yeah, it's a bit stiff.
It is pretty stiff.
But then at the same time, like, that guy might be a pocket, and all the pockets, all the pockets are full. So yeah, a bit of a stitch up though if he was fit and available, and your coach has just overlooked you. Like, what about me, mate? What about me? I would ask for a trade ASAP.
I saw this idea being floated around by a player agent, a mid-year trade period.
Yeah, I think that's such a good idea, just purely based on injuries come about. You get Adam Tomlinson doing an ACL, like last year around 7, and I guess you have the younger boys that can obviously get a chance to step up, but you need that, like, I don't know, if you have the option to go to the trade block and trade a few players, like, someone needs a back and someone needs a forward, like, just a swap during the year. I guess then it comes back to how often will you have, like, the one club players, like the Matthew Pallages, like the Tex Walkers, the Scott Pendlebury's, like, how often are you going to get them? If there's another trade period and they're going to be even more like, oh, look, my team's not doing too well this year, I might just jump the ship and join a very successful team that look like they're going to be playing finals. What's your take on it?
I reckon it's good. Overall, I reckon it would be good. I can understand, like, the less one club players, but as it is, you are already seeing a decline in kind of one club players with the free agency period and then obviously the trade period as well. But I think I think it would be good to keep the trade period open to round 10 or something like that, like halfway into the year, just beforehand. And then, exactly right. Like, someone does their knee, or one player who plays one midfielder for a team who's got a stacked midfield in front of him, doesn't look like he's getting a game, but might be able to get a game at another team who needs a midfielder.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely be able to, I don't know, imagine being able to get traded and then play the next week, as opposed to, this midfield's stacked, I'm not getting a game, let's wait till the end of the season to then put in a trade request. But I think if they would bring something in, it would definitely help the competition in terms of everything. Yeah,
definitely. I agree with that. And then we have Jake Bowie getting Rising Star. How good?
The big man?
Oh, he's a silky operator. He just reminds me of Caleb Daniels. Caleb Daniels' prime of...
Isn't Caleb Daniels still super young?
Yeah, no, he's not too young. Like, how is he? He wouldn't be he'll be 25, 26, but...
Not even his prime yet.
Yeah, he's 25, but Jake Bowie is 18 years, 18,
Is he 18
19.
years old?
Well, he's playing his ninth.
True.
Ninth
Right.
AFL game, and he's already had 2 Rising Star nominations. He had one in around 22 last year. He's obviously played 9 games, already won a Brownlow. Oh, sorry, Brownlow. Premiership, getting too far ahead of myself. He's on track to win a Brownlow. But yeah, he's won a premiership. The man's done everything, really. He's had 100%. And what was that stat earlier that we talked off the pod about?
Oh, yeah, shout out Useless AFL Stats on Facebook. Jake Bowie's got to hit 13 games, I'm pretty sure. On
13 or 15, was it?
It was a 13 or 15 games undefeated from debut to hit the record, but do you reckon that's likely?
If you look up, Melbourne have a very hard, they've got a very hard fixture this year, so I doubt that they're gonna. I mean, they could. So they've got Essendon, you got Essendon and then Port at home.
Port's looking like a winnable game. Essendon's a very winnable game. Yeah. Port is looking more and more like a winnable game. Mm-hmm. GWS, look, I actually do think, looking at the upcoming schedule, Melbourne, I would have as favourites in the majority of these matches. The only tough one would be against potentially Richmond. I would have said,
that Port game, I would have had the winning. I would have had Port winning at the start of the year. Now they don't look. They look.
Yeah, I guess
it's one game. Good. It's one game, and I guess they could, but I don't know. Obviously, we don't know what it's like to lose anymore. I have a feeling that. Obviously, lots of great teams say you have to learn how to win, and I think that comes just having a very good lineup and just a huge talent or lots of talented players in the team, and you got to just learn how to win and just know what to do in every situation. You can see Carlton don't know how to win, but this year they're kind of flicking the switch, and you can see that they're all right. With 10 minutes to go, we need to slow the game down. And basically, they're just kind of on the grind, learning how to win. I think even going back to what Carlton did on the weekend, they had no head coach. They had no Vossi. So they had to go to their assistant coach. And basically, apparently Voss was speaking to the coach's box at home. So...
that feels illegal. I feel like that's not allowed.
I think it's definitely allowed.
Is it?
True.
And if we're suspended from the coach's box, surely that would be as in suspension from coaching. You know what I mean?
It wasn't suspended for. It was just COVID.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Okay,
so he had COVID. So that's why he was at home, and I'm guessing he was just in his office at home, and he had the full. All the coaches, and I'm not even sure if he could speak to players, but I know he was speaking, and I find that so irritating. You're the assistant coach, you're the head coach for the day, and you got your mate talking to your ear, do this, and you're no, just I couldn't imagine myself just putting the headphones down, don't do what he's saying, just do whatever.
that works unless you start losing, and then
have all faith in the assistant coach. Obviously, it's sad that he went down with COVID. Unfortunate, not sad, but Carlton look like they're back on their way, doing all right. Was there anything else that was huge this week in footy?
This week being footy, not too sure. I don't think Jake Jake Bowie getting Rising Star.
Yeah, Collingwood surprisingly second on the ladder. That was pretty cool.
It is. We had Colin quite low. And Colin had been playing some pretty good footy.
I had them mid, like, I still got a lot of guns. Like, Pendlebury, De Goey is still going to have a really good year. The Pinksy looks like almost probably maybe recruiter of the year. He's having a great start, and he's just getting a lot of opportunity because we were talking about last week how we were listing that midfield group for the Western Bulldogs. If you add back the Pinksy, that's insane. He's going to be a gun. So they're looking pretty good. And Grundy's looks like he's coming back to his best. Like he was back in 2019, had a few off years. But yeah, I guess, Collingwood look alright. And then a few other ones. Gold Coast are 8th in the ladder at the moment, which I don't think... lots of people do say, and the stats do say, that they have very good starts to the year. And it's just over the year, kind of the message is lost in the intensity and a few injuries don't go their way. And they already had big Ben King with an ACL, so I guess they're a bit flat about that. But they look like the intensity is up. And I was a bit worried that they were going to beat Melbourne low-key on the weekend. They were putting up a big fight. Matty Rowell didn't show up and ruined our bet. I guess we'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah.
Speaking of bets, though, I mean, the bet I put on the potty last week, I don't think one leg hit. I had Charles winning. Oh, yeah. I guess that's a pretty good segue into Formula One. But I had Charles winning last night. Evidently, he didn't, and Max Verstappen was proving to be too fast. Back.
And Hamilton needs to retire ASAP. Give up that car, because he's ruining it for the whole Mercedes. I saw that Daniel Ricciardo, I think he's happy to give up his seat for the Australian drive. I don't know did you ever see that on the weekend?
He said that?
I don't know if it came out of his mouth, but I saw a title that was Ricciardo once, I think either he thought his time was up, but if he's not going well, that he's happy to give up his seat for the other Aussie that's coming through. I can't remember what his name is.
Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a really weird... If he did say that, that'd be really weird to say if you're in Daniel Ricciardo's position. I mean, he's already got people talking about his seat as it is from his year last year and this year. As he's started. I think he's just in a bad run of form, but he's going to have to find something to get himself out of it.
Yeah.
Quick, smart.
Doesn't help that the car's pretty crap as well.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely doesn't help. McLaren dropped from, showing real good signs of potential last year to now being a bit further down the grid than they would hope to have been. But it's kind of crazy when Lewis Hamilton's hopping on radio after finishing 10th saying, is there even a point for this position?
Yeah. All right, so this is the actual thing from Fox Sports saying that McLaren star Daniel Ricciardo would very much welcome fellow countryman Oscar Piastri as his replacement should he be unavailable throughout this.
That's like COVID.
Yeah. Okay. I read the headline and it said, deserved Ricciardo open to rising Aussie star replacing him. So
clickbaited Drew.
Clickbaited. And I did not read the full article, so that was my bad. But yeah, okay. But he's already got COVID at the start of the season, so the chances of him getting any game.
Very, very slim.
11 Ks from the explosion site, which is pretty messed up. And
that's a bit close.
Yeah, lots of... I think Hamilton came out and was just like, wow, we're still racing. And I think he's like, I really want to get home. Because, stuff being around there when that's happening.
It's bad enough that any attack that close to the track is pretty bad. But it's even worse, in my opinion, when the factory that was hit is an Aramco factory. The track, if you looked all over the track, all the sponsor boards, Aramco. It's not a good look, and that's where a lot of the kind of concern was going, is because the local terrorist organization that did it, it starts with a H, I can't pronounce it. They have an issue with Aramco operating in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So that's why they attacked it, and that's why there was concerns for further at the Grand Prix.
They must have had huge security then. I think it's a multi-million.
So something crazy that I found out, shout out TikTok for this information. The Saudi Arabia Grand Prix is one of the only Grand Prix where it doesn't have, it's called it's a for something contract, clause in the contract. So it basically means that if the race doesn't occur at the track at the time that was set out in the contract, the Saudi government can hold everyone's passports for as long as they want. So it potentially wasn't even a case of whether they really wanted to go racing or they didn't want to have to go through because a couple years back, I think it was 2019, something similar happened with the WWE and SummerSlam, right, where they had to cancel the event, and the Saudi government held everyone's passports and wouldn't let them leave the country.
Wait, why is that?
Just, I don't know, it's part of, like, was with the
Clause.
contract clause that allowed them to do it.
What, so you, like, say they're scheduled to race on a Sunday, and if they were there on the Monday, or, like, they had to race on the Monday for some reason, they couldn't, like, they couldn't leave the country after that Monday or something like that. Is that what it was?
Well, no. So if they'd worked out with the government being like, all right, we can't race Sunday, but let's do it on the Monday, I'm sure that'd be a thing. But if they were like, all right, we don't want to race, like, we're going to pack up our things and go home, the government is able to be like, nah, like, we have your passports, you're racing.
So stupid.
Yeah. So like that was, I feel like it might have been a contributing factor because the drivers came out unanimously at the start and said that they don't want to race.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until Ross Brawn and a bit of the other higher-ups from Formula One and a couple of the team principals came in and somehow convinced them to all change their mind. But it's a bit of a dodgy situation.
Yeah, well, yeah, that sounds stupid. But anyway, going back to what happened last night, Perez looked on top and looked really good from the top. And then I think it must have been during the middle of the race or towards the end of the race, Latifi ended up going into the wall, which caused the safety car to come out. And like Perez, just before that safety car went into pit and everyone like stayed out, and then that wall, the car hit the wall, so he ended up like behind everyone, and everyone like were able to like pit nicely.
So everyone got like a free pit stop essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So it's so unlucky for him because he could have potentially gone on and won the Grand Prix, which I think he would have.
Yeah.
Because his car had a lot of pace and he was driving really well and confident, especially from getting pole position the night before.
Yeah, I mean, first ever Mexican driver to put the car on pole.
Yeah.
So shout out to Sergio.
Shout out him. But yeah, Verstappen back in the winning ways. Good to see. Charles Leclerc up there as well with Sainz.
Carlos in third, wasn't he?
Yeah. So no, it looks good. Obviously Mercedes nowhere near the pace. I think McLaren nowhere near the pace as well.
I don't even know what Mercedes issue. They just started to fix the porpoising and just I don't know if it's something that they with the engine how they've got it packaged at the moment. Something's not able to get not optimized, but it just kind of shows even like the reliability issues, just how lucky we were. Kind of previously, obviously the cars had slowly been developed since 2014 and all that. And like the biggest regulation change was 2018, I want to say, or something like around that time when they made them bigger. But like it wasn't too much of a difference to what like the change we've had now. So that's why you're seeing a lot of like the reliability issues because like new teams are trying new things, so like package the engine differently and
Ferrari definitely taking advantage of like the new car.
Yeah,
and it's kind of it's good to see some other teams like Haas get up there. Unlucky Mick Schumacher ending up.
That was a scary crash.
We'll play it right now, just roll the clip, but that's a lot of force into the wall.
And then Haas only opting to run the one car last night in the Grand Prix to save it just for Australia.
Yeah. And it does make it's nice that it's back to homeland, back to Australia.
Finally, after 2 years, it's gonna be good. The track's different.
They've made. I've noticed that they've kind of cut a few more corners and made. I think is it just the corners are a bit more rounded, or I'm not quite sure.
So they've gotten rid of like one entire part. Like we'll put a map up here. Yeah,
of the differences, but hopefully it all goes well. Because I remember last year they were like, we'll go ahead later in the year, so it was meant to be one of the later Grand Prix, and Dan Buddy Andrews ruins the day like he normally does. We don't get into politics here, but
what they've done is they've instead of having there's the chicane at turn 9, they just made that essentially one long straight. And then hitting 11, 12, another long straight. So that's going to provide some real good racing, I reckon, from 7th, from turn 6 all the way to 11 will be, I don't know, very good. There's the DRS zone. There's still the 3 DRS zones there like there is normally. So no, it's going to be an exciting race, I reckon.
Yeah, doing predictions for this week. I know you said Gasly to.
I chucked a cheeky there. He was doing all right, but obviously didn't get anywhere near pole. Okay. He was in second there for a little bit in practice, but no, look, I reckon Max and Red Bulls, unless they have a car that blows up, they just look too quick
Yeah.
compared to the other cars.
Good driver as well.
Max Verstappen is an alright driver, but yeah, look, they're going to be hard to beat. Charles is a very talented driver though.
Yeah,
So
I'd say
can't knock him out, but
I reckon Leclerc comes back. I reckon he gets pole.
imagine that just win the trading wins the entire season. That'd be good to see.
Yeah.
It'd even be it's just annoying that it would be so much better if we had a 3-way fight, six drivers and
Carlos is there.
oh, sorry, I mean like 3-way fight between the teams.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like have Mercedes, or even if like Haas managed to make a step up, or like AlphaTauri or someone else managed to make that step up and have a 3-way battle. I reckon that'd be insane.
Yeah, I reckon Haas. I reckon when Mick comes back, Mick's gonna be like angry. He's gonna get like all of his energy from his dad and just passed on to him, and he's gonna turn like an absolute beast. I reckon. Nah, it's actually nice to see Haas actually, because I chat on Haas so much. Probably from like the last podcast that we had, but I used to just like, why are they even there? Like, they're so pointless.
See, but I guess you missed kind of
crap.
their first season where they finished like 6th or something like that. Like their first year, they had a real good year, and then just like seemed to progressively get worse.
Yeah.
And Gunther was saying that due to the funding, there was like last year, for example, there was no point trying to develop the car from the year before and just focus on these new regs, which it looks like it worked out for them, which is good. I mean, Mercedes said the same thing, and their car's nowhere near as quick as.
Is there money? Is there money going to run out though through like the Russian stuff?
No, well, Gene Haas is a billionaire, so like he's a billionaire. He's able to afford to pay for it. He just doesn't like opening the wallet to pay for it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'll be able to find, especially with their results as they are now, like they'll happily be able to find a sponsor surely somewhere that's going to be able to sponsor them as like a main title sponsor or something.
Yeah. Do you have a winner this weekend? You reckon Verstappen?
I'm gonna go with Verstappen. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, he's quick. He's too quick. Anyway, let's move on to our Shakes review that we filmed on the weekend. Just out there in the backyard. Got pretty messy. I'm glad we were going to film in here. And we did on that Friday night. So
we attempted to film that.
We filmed part 1 essentially, but just all the footage got lost. No, we did film. Wasn't the best, so we came up with some new ideas, some new forfeits, some new challenges. So basically,
surely we're the first people on YouTube to somehow turn a food review into a punishment forfeit challenge.
Yeah, we would open up a box, and basically there'll be like a challenge, and then if you swore from any point from that point to the end of the video, then you would have to do a spin on that wheel, and we had different things. Dylan got cracked by an egg.
Let's not spoil too much of the video though for the viewers. It will be going up on our channel.
Oh, if I edit it really quickly, like tonight,
yeah,
then get it out tomorrow. And
well, I mean, if you're able to get it out tomorrow, this should be going up on Wednesday.
So
let's talk about it. If you want to take a better yourself and talk about it, we can 100%.
Maybe we should talk about next week. Then.
I reckon next week. Let it simmer with some people.
Yeah, but that was, you might see Dylan. You definitely see Dylan Yak. So that's a spoiler. But I just want to talk about, like, obviously you hate egg, but I don't think there's anything on earth that you can like put in front of my face or put all over my body. I don't think there's anything that would ever like get me like to yak.
I think I have the worst gag reflex in human history, because like even like the thought of, like, Clay will attest to this, but like the thought of some shit will make me throw up.
Yeah.
Let alone, or like the egg. I was trying to explain to my mum last night like what I did during the day and like why her 20-year-old son is having eggs put on his head, and then just like the thought, and like I had the mental smell of like the eggs, and it made me dry reach. It's disgusting.
Is there anything for you, Clay, that would ever put you off like anything?
No, I've got a pretty strong stomach.
Yeah.
Don't really.
I think Dylan's just a pussy. Power gone.
Oh, power has gone out. That doesn't stop us, but we're back.
Yeah. Nothing's
recalled. Needed the power. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
The grossest one. Are we coming into it or not?
No.
We'll save it for a week. Save it for a week. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think you just need to grow up, man. Because
I just can't my fear. Not my fear, but my just
dislike.
My dislike of eggs.
But you like eating egg, don't you?
It that's hit or miss. Like egg whites, I'll be able to eat 100% if it's cooked. Egg yolk, if it's cooked like 100%.
Because I don't reckon it has a smell. I don't think the smell is like that big.
When it's running down your ear and like it's just sitting on your head, like there's a smell. There's a 100%.
How much would I have to pay you to eat like a raw egg?
Like in a cup?
Yeah.
It'd have to be like $200 minimum. And like, even then,
Let us
that
know.
feels low.
Let us know if you think Dylan's a bit over the top with that. So I can have to TikTok, clip that up. Yeah.
What?
I'll do it with $10 right here.
It's just like, no, because egg, like, one second. Like, think how slimy that shit is. And like,
Yeah, it's extremely, like I had it in my hands, like it's not nice, but I'm like, oh.
like, yeah, you sitting there smushing it into my face. I felt the shell cracking.
Not face, I
No,
put it
not
in
my
his
face,
hair.
sorry, my hair.
Yeah.
I felt the shell cracking and just like getting mushed into my hair. And so for everyone, so obviously the video happens. I've had to go the entire video with this egg drying in my hair. I'm looking like Simon from The Inbetweeners. Like, it looked like I have too much gel on there. And so we finished recording. I'm like, Drew, I need to have a shower real quick. So hop in a Drew shower. My hair was water resistant from this fucking egg. It honestly was. It had a fucking wrap. It was disgusting. I couldn't even get it out fully. I had to go home and wash my hair like 3 times in the shower. Just like shampoo, get it out, shampoo, get it out.
There's a few other things on your head and on your body as well, so we won't spoil them, but I think, I ate a few things that I didn't really enjoy, and I think you got it all on the body on the outside.
See, the thing is, I kind of prefer. I was looking back on it, and even though I do have a massive disdain for eggs, I'd much rather that happen to me than what Raj went through, find out what happened to him.
Oh yeah.
Or what you had to do. You weren't too bad, but I don't know. I'd much rather have something happen on the outside than have to ingest something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But,
yeah.
But when it's your worst fear, egg.
It's not a fear. Oh, I'm not scared of eggs.
you
I just
are.
don't like them.
You just want to. You're not scared. But you want to yak every time you think of it, bro. But yeah, let us know if there's anything on Earth that you think you just could not take at all, and then or like on the like getting smushed on you or whatever. Maybe we should do like one of those good old day like Simon videos where like they tape them up to a chair.
Oh, that'd be
and, like,
surely
you
mad.
have like 15 minutes to do whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, we're not putting like dicks in mouths and like shit like that. But I know Simon from Simon hates like fish. So like, if we found out like Jeremy or one of the Raj is in the video as well, or like I just know if I get 20 eggs, I could get Dylan to like either cry or but no, just undo me, untie me. But that would be like a funny video.
That'd be good. Drop a like if you want to see that one, because that would be that'd be a funny video to record.
So that's how pretty much the shape review went on. There's a few other things that happened during the week. Italy got eliminated from, I guess, not even to go into the World Cup.
What even is that type of performance from Italy though?
Yeah.
Losing into an 86th minute of North Macedonia. You're supposed to be the European champions of the world, and you can't even do that.
Rough. I feel bad for like the people like Jorginho who came third in the Ballon d'Or, obviously individual awards, but won Chelsea the Champions League, and then he still has never played in a World Cup game. Like,
is that true?
Yeah, that's true. So
that's a crazy.
Because like that's been what 4 years? Like, is it 5 years or 4 years? I don't know.
Yeah.
8 or 9 years in total where they haven't been able to make a World Cup. So all those older boys that maybe are starring towards the end of their career might still not be able to win. And who knows next time they get around to it.
Do you know what a crazy stat is that I found out?
What's that?
So, do you know that Italy have not played in an elimination World Cup game since 2006?
Ooh.
Right?
Wait, was that when they played Australia? Or that shootout?
That was 2006 was Germany, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, didn't they win 2006?
Yeah.
I think potentially, I'm pretty sure they won 2006.
Yeah.
But since they last won an Elimination World Cup game, both Mexico and US have both played one. So is US and Mexico better than Italy?
Oh, I think they're in their own category though. Like, it's like Australia.
They are in their own.
It's like Australia. Like I can't stand watching Australia at the moment. Like normally, everyone loves watching their nation play and like nation over club.
I think Australia is a bit like America, where like America they are starting to now a little bit with like Giovanni Reina and Pulisic, but like majority of that attention was on the women's national team. Yeah. I feel like that's kind of the same with Australia.
Yeah.
I mean, with Sam Kerr.
Sam Kerr's a jet.
What's her name? Was it like Susan Devana? What is his name?
Whatever.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I know personally I preferred after Tim Cahill retired and Sam Kerr was being good. I much rather preferred to watch the Matildas play than the Socceroos.
100%. I remember going into lockdown and seeing Australia play, or not. Oh, it might have been USA and I got knocked out in the Olympics last year. And I remember watching that game and be like, oh, this is actually a really good game. It's like 4-2 in the end. And it's like, it was meant to be like, it was way better than what the Socceroos. Oh, and also Socceroos. Oh, it's not even Socceroos in the Olympics, is it? Because like they're under 20, they only allowed 3 players over 23 or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
it's like the Olyroos. Yeah.
So, like all of that, it's like, I'm not really. I remember the good old days when you had Cahill, you had Harry Kuehl, you had who was Kennedy up for like a striker.
Oh, who's the right mid or right winger? That was Tommy Orr.
Yeah. And then Matthew he's still kind of around, but you had Jedinak.
Oh, Jedinak.
Yeah, and then you had
Matt Ryan in goal.
But also you had Swatch.
Schwarzer and Mark Schwarzer.
So like the good old days when going from like watching them and like not even I wasn't even into soccer, but they're like soccer heroes. Yeah. And then like now,
even before Tim Cahill, it was like John Aloisi and stuff sending Australia to the first like World Cup and but I feel like that's what Australia's missing at the moment though, is like that one big name, because there was a period there where like they had like Jedinak and stuff like that, but like Tim Cahill was like the star of this team. You know what I mean?
Like you had like Aaron Moy coming up, and you also had Arzani, who was meant to be the next like wonder kid, and he got like signed by Man City. Everyone's like, oh, how good is this going to be? Like a few knee injuries, I'm pretty sure, and like a few things didn't go his way, which sucked for him. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the King of Perth, Bruno Fornaroli, he got a debut for Socceroos finally.
How good's that? The oldest ever player to debut. Yeah. And like he's a jet. Like
he's a good player.
He's past his prime. Like if we signed him legit, like if we signed him up, I don't know, 3 years ago, like we had way more success, I reckon.
100%.
And then there's still there's still a few good players, and like, I just don't really know anyone anymore. Like Aaron Moy, I don't really see him in the squad that much.
One of my favourite memories was watching the 2015 Asia Cup. Watching Australia lift that, that was great.
That was prime.
That was probably the last time I felt actually not involved, but like invested into like a Socceroos game.
Yeah. And I think it helped that I was in Australia as well, so it was like promoted everywhere. It was on like.
But I've heard those Perth Glory Games speeches kind of keeping on the subject of soccer. I mean, I've heard those Perth Glory Games go off. You should check one out sometime, because
we generally should. Because it was actually really cool to see like Daniel Sturridge come to Perth, but I don't even know if he's playing.
I think he's played like 9 minutes total yet.
Yeah.
Or like something insane.
Really?
He's been injured for majority of the time, hasn't he? And then all he's doing is post on his Instagram story, oh, where's a barber? I need someone to cut my hair. He's probably had more minutes with the barber than he has on the pitch.
Shout out Daniel Steins, went to the school that we grew up going to, and he plays for Perth Glory. So maybe I might message him and be like, hey, we were not best mates. I was like, I don't know, like, annoying little year 9, like, and he was like year 12. It's like, oh yeah, he's good at soccer. And then he goes and plays for Perth Glory, and he probably has no idea who I am, but I'll be like, yeah, just wanting some box tickets on the weekend, just me and my mate. But yeah, definitely, who are they versing next? Like, surely, because I've seen a few of the boys go, like, Justin's gone to a game, and I'm like, fuck. I would want to go see Sturridge, but if he wasn't playing, I'd still want to go anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, Joel goes. My brother goes quite a bit. He says that they're hell fun, and think even just as general content, as like a match day vlog type thing, I reckon that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much the viewers know, but I mean, we do have goals of eventually being doing those kind of outside of the stadium recording. Yeah. Kind of talking to people. So I feel like that'd be a good way to ease into it. Not doing like those type of videos, but it's just like wake up and record ourselves. Yeah. Match day vlog type thing.
It sucks that Perth Glory are last in the ladder though. They've won 3, lost 14. So
I mean, they were good recently though. I mean, 2 years ago they were in the grand final against Sydney. Yeah,
which that's another thing we could talk about. So do you like how the EPL, you play 38 games and like that's it, that's the end. The last day, which I think is one of the greatest like things of all time, is playing all at the same time, all ending pretty much at the same time. That's when you get the Aguero and stuff like that. Bring that into AFL, you need 9 stadiums in the obviously country. I guess you could go play in New Zealand if you wanted to, like they did a few years ago, or go play in China. But you need 9 stadiums. I don't think we have 9 stadiums with good capacities. But do you think the A leagues should go into that format, because they've blended it in between like, oh yeah, like it's cool to get, I think they still have the minor premiers or premiers, and then they've also go and have a grand final, and then the whole coming first isn't really cool, it's winning that grand final, which is a bit more Australian, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
Well, so I guess it's kind of like the same way they do with like the MLS in America. They've got like the same kind of, they have like a playoff structure as well.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely prefer the way the EPL does it I mean, like,
I think it's like soccer as well.
It gives it, yeah, I mean, majority of like how the rest of the league, like nations do have their soccer leagues. I mean, it gives no like value to the regular season when you're just going to go off into a playoff system anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I feel like having every game be meaningful, I reckon that'd be way better to actually grow the game. Like imagine, Perth Glory 2 years ago, they'd finished first and they lost in the grand final to Sydney. So like, it should be celebrated as an amazing season. They should have won.
Yeah.
But because they lost to Sydney, it was on penalties against Sydney.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I remember watching it. They lost in penalties against Sydney in Sydney, I think it was. I mean, I think they should try to do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they should do a similar system similar to the EPL, but they should also look at getting rid of the salary cap. I'm not saying my words properly. So yeah, the A League is one of the only soccer leagues in the world that does have the salary cap, and I think it hampers the league, if anything, because obviously they have like their marquee signings or players that are like international and all that, break the bank. But if they just get rid of it and allow the teams to be buying players in, you're going to see a lot more teams go for like, you know, young, hopefully try to get some younger players in, some younger prospects, grow in, and you get those younger exciting prospects, and it lifts the game up instead of seeing 34-year-old Daniel Sturridge come in and not play a game all season because of his knee,
and he's probably like worth like 3-4 players anyway.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
The money that he's on. So yeah, I 100% agree. And like it's good seeing young Aussie talent get a go. But then could you add more teams? Could you add a bit more money to the game? Could you, like, I know it's a big issue where like it's not the predominant sport in the whole country. Like lots of people play footy. I think footy comes first, and then it's like the cricket, and then you get down to the football. Yeah. And I think it's a very expensive sport to grow up playing as well. So if there was if the government like made it a bit more playable for younger kids, like who knows, you might actually get a national team that actually competes at a World Cup level, because it honestly sucks. Just we made the World Cup. I don't even want us to make the World Cup like this year, other than like it might be good to play on FIFA. Like
I mean, do you think we'll ever in our lifetime realistically see Australia actually pushing for a World Cup team? No. I don't think we will. I don't think soccer will ever be able to take that leap from kind of where they are now of just kind of an average international team to then taking it to that next step to actually be able to push for a World Cup. I just don't think soccer in Australia would be able to reach that level of a footy or like a rugby league or something like that over East. I think as long as footy and rugby league are still going on strong, and you have like cricket in the summer, I don't think soccer's going to be really getting too much more airtime. Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't think I see us being successful at all. Anything else I can talk about today? I'm pretty set. Wrapped it up to I think we should wrap it up. Thanks for listening, watching, subscribing, viewing, whatever you're doing. We'll hopefully have TikToks out, obviously. Get some more content out during the week. What I was going to say, keep following the socials. Yeah.